You're a sexist, egotistical, lying, hypocritical bigot.
Jane is one of the most courageous women I've ever worked with.
I think as Henry Fonda's daughter, she had our attention, and then she became a tremendous actress.
Why wasn't that old son of a ever my friend?
She wanted to be a part of the heart of just about everything.
Total propaganda on the part of the Nixon administration.
The thing about Jane is that anything is possible. She's an absolutely alive, dazzling creature.
It seems that you and me have been mad at each other for so long.
I didn't know we were mad. I thought we just didn't like each other.
Oscar-winning superstar.
Julia has been murdered. It's not to be referred to as information.
Inspirational businesswoman.
This is it!
Anti-American traitor.
So although the bombs are falling on Vietnam, it's an American tragedy.
Jane Fonda has been called all this and more.
She had an amazing willingness to step out there and put your chin out to experience life.
As a matter of fact, I smoke pot.
Fans call her a fearless superwoman.
We must take matters into our own hands.
Jane went places that Arnold Schwarzenegger would be afraid to go to.
Critics have called her a superficial chameleon, always under the influence of a new, strong-willed man.
The rap on me looks awfully true. I become whatever the man wants me to be.
But through all her many lives, there was one thing that drove Jane Fonda. Her search for the love of a father she struggled for decades to know.
I'm sure sometimes he was downright ashamed of me. In fact, I know he was. I was out there. I played it on the edge a lot, and partly that was in reaction. I'm gonna do it my way.
Movies were a part of Jane Seymour Fonda's world even before she was born on December 21st, 1937. Her mother, Frances, was a beautiful socialite. Her father, 32-year-old Henry Fonda, was one of Hollywood's hottest leading men. And as Jane grew up, Henry was becoming a film icon, symbolizing quiet strength and dignity.
Wherever there's a fight so hungry people can eat, I'll be there.
He played in political dramas, Grapes of Wrath, and those kinds of pictures that made an indelible impression on her. She must have worshipped her father in a certain way.
In 1940, the quiet, introspective actor moved his family to California. Jane and her new baby brother Peter had the run of a 9-acre ranch in Brentwood called Tigertail.
He designed the house and had it built. It was pretty cool. A great place to live. And I remember it all, as being almost bucolic and wonderful and like a paradise.
Henry Fonda had given his family a beautiful home, but emotionally, he was often unavailable.
My father was very minimalistic, didn't talk a lot, wasn't free with compliments or affection. He had not known what it was like to take your kid in your arms and bounce her on your knee and hug her and kiss her, because that's not what he had. Tigertail memories are father-absent memories. Almost as soon as we moved in, the Second World War started, and Dad, who didn't have to go because he was the sole support of his family, enlisted right at the beginning of the war, and I remember the day he left. I remember him coming to my bed, tucking me in, singing me a song in his uniform, and leaving. I think that he must have known that he made a mistake marrying my mother, and didn't quite know how to handle it, and just like a lot of men, used the war to get away. I'm not saying he thought about it that way. I think he was very happy in the war.
Mrs. Fonda had not wanted him to go, and she became very depressed all during the war. She was very, very moody. She also didn't want to get old. She was always obsessed with her looks and obsessed with her weight. That's when Jane first started hearing about, you can't get too fat. Her mother would say things like, if I get one more ounce of fat on me, I'm gonna cut it off with a knife.
In 1945, Jane was overjoyed when her father returned home after 3 years of distinguished wartime service. But life in the Fonda household grew worse. Frances spiraled into a deep depression, and Henry reacted with silence and jarring bursts of temper.
When he was playing characters, he could talk. He could be something. He could express himself. He could express love, anger, and all that. The rest of the time, he was quiet. We all read quiet as sheer terror. We thought, he's angry. What did you do? I didn't do anything, Jane. What did you do? I didn't do anything. Well, somebody did something, because look at him.
He just wasn't around much. He went to Broadway, where he did Mr. Roberts, and started to have an affair with a girl who was at the time about 18. And I think my mother must have found out about it, and we quickly sold the house here and we moved to Greenwich, and then everything kind of fell apart.
Henry had fallen in love with actress Susan Blanchard. That winter, he asked his wife for a divorce. Frances was devastated, but no one tried to explain what was happening to the children. In 1950, Frances Fonda checked herself into Craig House, a mental health clinic. Jane felt abandoned. She had no idea that her mother was suicidal. A few weeks later, on April 14th, Frances took her own life by cutting her throat with a razor she'd hidden in a framed picture of her children. Jane and Peter were told by Henry that their mother had died of a sudden heart attack.
There was no service for my mother, no burial, nothing. We never went to a grave. We never had a service for her. And not a clever way to have some closure.
To Jane, it was as if her mother had been erased, especially when 8 months later, her father married Susan Blanchard.
Susan Blanchard said they were the most love-starved children she'd ever seen. She just gave them a lot of hugging, and she was wonderful to them.
Mom, too, as I refer to her, she gave us everything. She was such a giving person.
But even her loving stepmother's attention wasn't enough to keep 13-year-old Jane from feeling unattractive and overweight.
She had always been obsessed with her weight. She called her cheeks chipmunk cheeks. She became bulimic. She started binging and purging.
The troubled teenager got another shock when she read in a movie fan magazine the truth about her mother's death. Jane followed her father's example and showed no emotion. At 17, she graduated from high school and was accepted at Vassar. Her relationship with her father was still distant, but she was determined to break down the wall between them. In 1955, Jane overcame the awe she felt for her legendary father when she agreed to act with him in a benefit production at the theater where he got his start.
I don't remember too much about it, actually, except that I was scared of him always. I don't remember him ever giving me advice. I would ask him, but he was never very forthcoming about how he worked or what he did, or I don't think he wanted me to be an actress. I thought he probably that he was scared I'd get bitten by a bug and then not make it, and it would be miserable, and I can understand that.
Jane still adored her father, but at times she resented him. She was furious when Henry divorced Susan Blanchard, with whom she'd formed a close bond. After a lifetime of emotional neglect, pent-up feelings began to surface. Jane started to rebel. She ditched classes and had casual sexual flings. In 1957, she dropped out of Vassar, and months later, the directionless 19-year-old gave in to her growing passion for acting. Jane threw herself into classes at Lee Strasberg's famed Actors Studio.
I think it was a turning point in my life, literally, because from that time on, I went to bed thinking about acting. I woke up thinking about acting. It was like the roof had come off my life.
We didn't see it coming, but women have made Olay #1. Not surgical results. Regenerist is the #1 anti-aging serum and the #1 anti-aging moisturizer. Not drastic, just fantastic younger-looking skin with Olay Regenerist.
It's not back to school. It's forward to what's next. With an HP Netbook, Samsung Reality, or LG Cosmos for under $20 after rebate. Rule the air. Verizon.
Say hello to the Pillow Pets. Pillow Pets are cute, huggable pets that pop open into full-size pillows. They're soft, they're cuddly, and they make perfect pillows. Moms, your kids will absolutely love their Pillow Pets. You simply undo the hook and loop strap and the pet pops open into a full-size pillow. Just fold it up, reattach the hook and loop, and it's back to a cuddly animal. It's fun and easy. Playtime, sleep time, anytime. Kids of all ages love their Pillow Pets. There's a panda bear, a ladybug, a frog, a dog, a unicorn, a dolphin, a bumblebee, a monkey, and so many more. Everyone needs a pillow. Why not have a fun pillow? Pillow Pets are great for travel. Look, PJs fit right inside. Perfect for the overnight trips to Grandma's house. This is more than just another stuffed animal. This is a pillow that your child or grandchild will use every night. It's a pet with a purpose. Every Pillow Pet is made of ultra-soft, high-quality chenille fabric. The heavy-duty stitching ensures years of enjoyment, and they're even machine washable. Pillow Pets are so soft and huggable. All it takes is one hug, and your child or grandchild will fall in love with their Pillow Pet. Over 1 million kids are already enjoying their very own Pillow Pets. Every Pillow Pet is so cute and unique. The hardest part is choosing which one to get. Go online to www.pillowpets.com to see the full selection of Pillow Pets. If you have a birthday, holiday, or special occasion coming up, Pillow Pets make the perfect $20 gift. Imagine your child or grandchild's face when they get their Pillow Pet. Pillow Pets come with a full 60-day money-back guarantee. So go online right now to www.pillowpets.com. That's www.pillowpets.com. Adopt your Pillow Pet today.
I'm Robert Shapiro. Over 1 million people have discovered how easy it is to use LegalZoom for important legal documents. So start your business, protect your family, launch your dreams. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
At Overstock.com, you can find everything for you and your family at prices up to 70% off every day. We have mattresses, bedding, lamps, digital cameras, and much more. And your entire order ships for just $2.95, even if it's 100 things. Overstock.com, traditionally low prices.
And as a Progressive customer, you get to use any of our concierge claim centers.
So I can just drop off my car and you'll take care of everything?
Yep, even the rental.
What if I'm stuck at the office?
If you can't come to us, we'll come to you in one of our immediate response vehicles.
What if Mother won't let me drive?
Then you probably wouldn't have had an accident in the first place. And we're walking! And we're walking!
Making it all a bit easier. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Bernard Getz, the Unabomber, Mary Kay Letourneau. These stories and others shocked the nation. Now, William Shatner digs for the truth behind the headlines.
Were you both aware that you're breaking the law?
I just thought this wouldn't look good as a teacher.
Aftermath with William Shatner. New series premieres tonight at 10, only on Bio.
It was 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and we heard a rattling on our door. I had my little snapshot camera, and when I took the picture, I didn't see him. It was only after we had it developed that he's there.
All new My Ghost Story, Saturday at 10, only on Bio.
By 1959, Jane Fonda had taken up modeling to pay for acting classes. Jane's godfather, producer Josh Logan, immediately saw potential in the beautiful 22-year-old and put her under contract as an actress.
We've discovered a new star, but I doubt if I've ever found anyone with the youth, the beauty, and the talent of Jane Fonda.
Logan cast Jane in her film debut in the frothy romantic comedy Tall Story.
Tall girl, tall boy, it all adds up to Tall Story.
Jane played a cheerleader opposite Anthony Perkins.
Ray, this was just our first kiss. We're not married. We're not even engaged. We have to start out by being friends.
All right, we're friends.
Oh, we can be better friends than that.
Yeah.
I knew her as a serious actress, as somebody who had ambitions to break out of that mold of sort of frivolous ingenue. She did not want to get by on the Fonda name. She wanted to generate her own worthiness as an actress.
But even when Jane earned good reviews on Broadway, her reticent father said little about her work.
He was very hard on himself and other people. I don't know why. I mean, obviously that has something to do with why I'm hard on myself, too.
Jane kept pushing herself. She delivered arresting performances as the frigid subject of a sex survey in the Chapman Report, and as a bitter prostitute in 1962's Walk on the Wild Side.
You like me, Dove?
Sure, I like you, Kitty, but I don't feel like fooling.
Put me and I'll make you feel like fooling.
Jane's freshness and edgy sexuality made her a hot Hollywood commodity. Jane jumped at a chance to expand her image as an actress. She traveled to Paris to play an unhinged vixen in the drama Joy House, opposite Alain Delon. In France, she met one of the most talked about and notorious directors in Europe, 35-year-old Roger Vadim.
Roger Vadim, who was the Svengali who had created Brigitte Bardot, and he was an enormously cultivated, charismatic man, and she fell madly in love with him.
Jane finally stopped trying to impress her father. She moved in with Vadim, learned French, and starred in his next film, the sexy comedy of manners, Circle of Love.
She was very influenced by the men in her life. Jane is a seeker, has always been a seeker. And a seeker tends to find things and then get very committed to them.
Vadim built up Jane's image as a sex kitten. He also gave her the warm family life she always wanted. The couple bought a farmhouse in the country, and together they raised his young daughter, Natalie. At Vadim's urging, Jane returned to Hollywood to star in the 1965 comedy western Cat Ballou, opposite Lee Marvin.
You all say you love me and are beholden to me, and take it easy, Cat. We're gonna take care of you. And the first time I ask you to do one little thing for me, like rob one little train. Hold on, man.
Jane Fonda as Cat Ballou, girl train robber.
Wow.
Cat Ballou was an Oscar-winning hit, and during her time in Hollywood, Jane also forged a strong personal connection with her father's new fiancée, a down-to-earth Midwesterner named Shirley Adams.
Jane and Henry had careers, and they'd be off on location, and they couldn't always be together. I loved to be together. I love family, and I would try to keep us together or put us together as much as possible. I think, oftentimes initiate a lot of the things.
But Jane knew her father didn't approve of the way Roger Vadim pushed her to be sexually free on and off the screen. In 1965, when Jane married Vadim in Las Vegas, she did not invite Henry.
If the honeymoon doesn't work out, let's not get divorced. Let's kill each other.
Let's have one of the maids do it. I hear the service here is wonderful.
Professionally, Jane's star continued to rise with the hit Neil Simon comedy Barefoot in the Park. Her co-star, Robert Redford, had formed a lasting friendship with Jane during their struggling early years on Broadway.
He's so sexy that just even anticipating playing a love scene with him was, enough to keep me up for several nights.
Where are you going?
Work. I have to go to work. I don't do this for a living,
Can't you call them and tell them you can't come in today? Tell them you're sick.
I am sick, but I have to go in today.
Last night you promised you'd never leave me.
She's very good at comedy.
Thank you, Mr. Dooley. Next time you're in New York, just call me up.
She had unbelievable energy, very high energy, kind of like in the 30s, that kind of wonderful energy, but it was also sophisticated. She could play high, play low. She could throw sex around.
What's happening here? What is this? What are you doing?
I'm trying to get you all hot and bothered, and you're summing up for the jury.
I think Jane has a great sense of joy and life, and probably what a lot of people don't know about her, play. She really loves to play.
But privately, Jane's life was far from perfect. The actress was uncomfortable when Roger Vadim pushed her to star in his latest film, the erotic sci-fi satire, Barbarella.
Barbarella is a 5-star, double-rated astronavigatrix Earth girl whose specialty is
love.
She was being exploited in that film and used to represent a certain kind of sexuality.
I got him.
She didn't too much like it, but you could tell that she was doing that for her husband.
See Barbarella do her thing in the wild, excessive machine.
Sort of nice, isn't it?
This little playful thing wasn't Jane. You know, she was starting to realize this kind of mold is not appropriate. I need to have another mold.
The pressure to be beautiful caused the 29-year-old to keep a painful secret. The international sex symbol was still binging and purging to keep off weight.
She battled it for such a long period of time when everybody thought she was just fine. And it was the single biggest thing in her life for many years was her bulimia and hiding it from the public.
That same year, Jane was thrilled to learn she was pregnant, but she was also intimidated by the responsibility of motherhood. When Vanessa Vadim was born in 1968, Jane's perfectionist nature kicked in.
She was obsessed with her in the beginning. She was trying these food experiments, and she wouldn't touch a microwave oven. She thought it was going to hurt the food and maybe poison you or poison the daughter.
As a new mother, Jane also began paying more attention to the world her daughter would inherit. Students were rioting in Paris. Martin Luther King and Robert Kennedy were assassinated. Opposition to the Vietnam War was growing. The 30-year-old actress soon began to explore life outside the shelter of wealth and fame. In Europe, Jane met AWOL American soldiers and listened to their stories about the horror of war.
I didn't even know where Vietnam was. I didn't really, I mean, these soldiers started to talk to me and talk to me and talk to me, and I didn't even know what questions to ask. I was so ignorant.
Jane's eyes were opened, and her new politically aware outlook was reflected in her next film, the Depression-era drama, They Shoot Horses, Don't They?
It's a hard luck story of a member of this dance contest whose suspicions about the worst in people are proven true.
People are the ultimate spectacle.
And now you're going to see it, yowza, the Derby! Struggling to keep going, battling to win, and isn't that the American way? The boy from 67 is down. He is definitely down. 6, 7, shut up!
She put herself through as much of that as she could, trying to do that kind of staying awake, staying on your feet for that long. She wanted to feel a sense of having worn your clothes for 2 days without washing them, having stood on your feet for 24 hours, and then 48 hours, and then on and on and on.
Fonda stunned critics with a haunting performance that earned Jane her first Academy Award nomination.
It was also the first sort of big breakthrough film in terms of her being a serious actress for her, that it was a performance with not one shred of vanity in it.
As her brother Peter scored an even greater success with the counterculture biker smash Easy Rider.
No, man. This is grass.
It was clear that a new generation of Fondas had arrived in Hollywood.
I was alone in the house. There was something not quite comfortable about it.
Supermodel Paulina Poroskova.
I woke up and I saw a woman. All I could sort of manage was, switch on the light. She was gone.
Celebrity Ghost Stories, all new episode, Saturday at 9 on Bio.
I have urgent news. If you have good credit now and a good credit history, you can qualify for a low fixed rate 30-year refinance loan from Mortgage in 15 Minutes.
They turned my good credit into a great rate. Thank you, Mortgage in 15 Minutes.
They came through, like they said, in less than 15 minutes. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Call us now for your low fixed rate loan.
800-596-0363.
Air has no prejudice.
It does not carry the opinions of a man faster than those of a woman.
Does not filter out an idea because I'm 16 and not 30.
Air is unaware if I'm black
or white and wouldn't care if it knew.
So it stands to reason my ideas will be powerful.
If they are wise, infectious, if they are worthy.
If my thoughts have flawless delivery, I can lead the army that will follow.
Rule the air. Verizon.
So I'm in love with this cute pair of jeans. Only $100. But am I wearing them now? Hello, I'm wearing my older sister's jeans that she ruined with barbecue sauce. Or so I thought. See, my mom washed them with this Tide stain release and wash booster stuff. She's all, you use it with your detergent to help get stains out the first time. Are you kidding me? So now the stains are magically gone and my sister passes on her jeans to me. What a life.
Get your $3 coupon at TidestainRelease.com today.
Introducing Life Shield Security, now offering complete home security for half of what the other guys will charge you.
Dan Marino here for Life Shield Home Security. Now you can afford to protect what matters most, your home and your family. Life Shield is the best protection for your home at the best price, and it's easy to use. There's no invasive hardwiring and no pushy salesperson or installation technician at your home.
Act now and take advantage of the best guarantee in the industry. You can try Life Shield at no risk for 30 days.
Trusted security or your money back.
Stay tuned to find out how you can get free monitoring and free full home fire protection.
Don't be fooled by the $99 offers out there. They only cover the front and back door. Life Shield gives you peace of mind. It's whole house protection, paired with the fastest monitoring response time in the industry. Unlike other systems, Life Shield stays on when there's a power outage, if your internet goes down, even if phone lines are cut. And Life Shield technology allows you to monitor your home from anywhere in the world, free. No house is too big or too small. Life Shield covers every room, every window, every door for half of what the other guys will charge you. Don't wait to protect what's most important to you.
Call now and get free security monitoring, free full home fire protection, free fire monitoring for life, and a free easy-to-use keychain remote. Plus, installing Life Shield can save you up to 20% on your homeowner's insurance.
To get full house coverage with those other guys, it could cost you more than $600. Don't waste your money. With Life Shield, you get the best technology and home security at the best value, guaranteed or your money back. Get instant protection from Life Shield now. No long appointments, no waiting hours for a technician to show up, and no hidden fees. Life Shield, the best value and superior protection, guaranteed.
Call now to get free monitoring and free full home fire protection.
Call now, 877-SAFE-917.
Well, hey, glad I caught you. I was on my way to present ideas about all the discounts we're offering. I've got some catchphrases that'll make these savings even more memorable.
All right. Good driver discounts. Now that's the stuff.
How about this?
They're the bee's knees.
Why this?
Sir, how about just 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance?
Yeah. Good luck with that catching on.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
One man is missing. 2 girls lie dead, and somebody is on the other end of the phone.
By 1971, Jane Fonda had proved she was more than Henry Fonda's daughter, but she was determined to push herself as an actress. In that year, she triumphed in her most challenging role so far, playing a psychologically troubled call girl hunted by a killer in the hit thriller Clute.
Having sex with somebody and feeling that those sort of feelings towards them is very new to me, and I wish that I didn't keep wanting to destroy it.
That scene when she's listening to the tape recorder where her girlfriend is pleading for her life and the tears are just running out of her eyes.
Turn your head. Like that.
She told me when she started that scene, she didn't prepare it in any specific way. She felt very deeply about it and went into it, and then she couldn't stop crying for a long time after the scene was over. She said it was where she discovered the vulnerability of women.
Jane's new depth as a performer earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress. It was the first Oscar win for any member of the Fonda family. But as the world around her grew more chaotic, Jane took on a startling new role as a political activist. On a trip to India, she had hoped to find enlightenment. Instead, Jane came home outraged by the country's grinding poverty.
She had lived a very protected life and suddenly was exposed to some of the terrible things that exist in the world and really felt them deeply. And I think that's all that has ever motivated her. Her great, deep compassion for people and for people who are oppressed in any way.
When Jane returned to America, she threw herself into causes. She championed Native American rights, the Black Panthers, and protested the Vietnam War.
As Jane moved through these phases, she went right to the heart quickly. She didn't mess around with a staircase getting there. She went right to the platform.
She felt that what was important was being human. I think that's pretty admirable and pretty rare, because when our careers and business become involved, we often park our humanity.
But Jane was often more passionate than informed. Critics dismissed her as a dilettante.
I was living at my father's home. Poor Dad. Oh, my Lord. I was talking someone else's rhetoric, and I just think that I must have come off exactly the way I was described. Shrill, impatient.
Total propaganda on the part of the Nixon administration.
But Jane's radical new path left no room in her life for the pleasure-loving Roger Vadim. The pair separated in 1970 and divorced 2 years later.
Vadim wasn't serious enough for her. She really took things very seriously, more and more seriously as the war worsened. You know, he used to say, "I don't want to be married to Joan of Arc."
Fonda's distrust of America's government increased in 1970. After a bag search at Cleveland Airport, Jane was arrested and charged with drug possession.
I am not a smuggler. I had on my possession small amounts of prescribed medicine. This is what they call smuggling.
She had no drugs. These were vitamin pills. And of course, she got out of jail almost immediately because they didn't have a leg to stand on.
Jane's growing social activism was also fueled by the new man in her life. While filming Clute, she'd become involved with her married co-star, Donald Sutherland. Appalled by mounting carnage in Vietnam, Jane teamed with Sutherland and other performers to create a touring show for GIs stateside and overseas. They called it the FTA.
FTA, which was euphemistically called Free the Army, but really represented a more vulgar phrase. And our goal was to put on shows to counter the Bob Hope kind of pro-war shows that were going on.
The FTA show, the show the Pentagon couldn't stop.
I went down to that base, they took one look at my face, and read out an order to Barbie. I said, Foxtrot, Tango, Alpha, free the Army.
There were bomb scares, there were death threats, there was a constant presence of FBI, CIA kind of presence.
The FTA made little impact. Within a year, Jane left Sutherland and found a new romantic and political partner. 32-year-old Tom Hayden was one of the notorious Chicago Seven who had played a pivotal role in the Democratic Convention riots of 1968.
Revolution is a process.
I was at a rally backstage, and he came back to ask me to do something with him on an anti-war basis, and we sat down next to each other, and he put his hand on my knee. And I knew, I did. I went right home to my roommate and I said, he's the one.
Jane idolized Hayden, who helped arrange a trip that would change Fonda's life. In 1972, the couple flew to Hanoi, the capital of North Vietnam.
Jane went to North Vietnam to find out how the war was affecting the country. And she toured ruins, and she went to POW camps, and she met with many, many people.
I think it's one thing to sit at a party in Hollywood and have a couple of drinks and sound off about whether you think we should or shouldn't be in Vietnam. It's another thing to get on a plane and go there.
She made one radio broadcast from Radio Hanoi, pleading with the pilots to stop the bombing.
I don't know what your officers tell you, those of you who know the bombs on the plane. But one thing that you should know is that these weapons are illegal, and the use of these bombs or the condoning the use of these bombs makes one a war criminal.
Jane returned to a media firestorm. Her Vietnam radio broadcasts and her claim that U.S. prisoners of war had not been victimized shocked Americans across the political spectrum.
It is a lie, an orchestrated lie, to say that it was the policy of the Vietnamese to torture pilots.
I would like to see you make that statement to their face.
I think Jane was so committed to proving that the war was wrong that she maybe didn't realize how it might be affecting the troops themselves.
The bombing is not having the effect that I think Richard Nixon would like it to have.
But no image was more outrageous to Jane's critics than a photo of her on a Vietnamese anti-aircraft gun. Jane was denounced as a traitor, burned in effigy, and dubbed Hanoi Jane.
She was naive in many ways, but I know where her heart is, and her heart is totally magnanimous and giving and wanting to do the right thing and wanting to make things better.
She didn't know that it was not going to affect her career. And in fact, eventually, I think it did affect her career in the sense that people started getting nervous about using her.
Bernard Goetz, the Unabomber, Mary Kay Letourneau. These stories and others shocked the nation. Now, William Shatner digs for the truth behind the headlines.
Were you both aware that you're breaking the law?
I just thought this wouldn't look good as a teacher.
Aftermath with William Shatner. New series premieres tonight at 10, only on Bio.
Hey, Doug. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, the call center said you wanted to move your account to Scottrade. Uh-huh. Yeah, I know. $7 online trades. Yeah, but you know, our online trading is pretty good too, I think. They have over 400 branch offices. That's cool, but our focus is on you, Dan.
Scottrade is built to serve you better, with offices near where you live or work.
You know, I'm available most mornings.
Scottrade. Get invested.
I don't need another gadget or gizmo.
I don't need another diet plan.
And I don't need another reason to work out. I needed someone to make it this easy.
Introducing the Mobia Fitness Machine by Nautilus, the breakthrough that burns up to twice the calories of a treadmill and makes getting in shape as easy as going for a walk. By combining the motions of a treadmill, a stepper, and an elliptical into one fluid movement, Mobia gives you the calorie-burning benefits of all three machines at once.
With Mobia, if you can walk, you can work out.
But if you're like me, you won't believe it until you see it.
Call the number on your screen or go to MobiaDVD.com for your free DVD and information kit right now. You'll see how Mobia's unique 3-in-1 motion burns up to twice the calories of a treadmill. How a quick walk with Mobia gives you a runner's workout without the stress on your joints. And you'll see how just walking on Mobia can get you looking and feeling better in as little as 6 weeks. Guaranteed.
I've lost 31 pounds in 6 weeks. It's a great workout in a very short period of time.
My own doctor, he said, I would never have guessed you would have been able to do this. From a 16 to a size 6. In 6 weeks.
I feel younger, I feel lighter, I have more energy. I lost 23.5 pounds of body fat in 6 weeks. It's amazing.
Only the fitness experts at Nautilus could take walking and turn it into an amazingly effective fat-burning workout. Try Mobia for just 30 minutes, 3 times a week. If you're not convinced it's the easiest, fastest workout you've ever experienced, Nautilus will refund your purchase, guaranteed. Plus, call today and we can deliver and set up your Mobia right in your home.
Exercise doesn't get any easier than this.
Finally, something that works for both of us. I wasn't putting off getting into shape. I was just waiting for Mobia.
Don't wait. Take the first step today. Call for your free no-obligation DVD or go to MobiaDVD.com and see it right now. Get the facts on how Mobia can help you lose weight and feel great. Mobia by Nautilus. If you can walk, you can work out.
Over the next year, the U.S. Department of Labor projects over 1 million new jobs in some of the fastest growing fields. With Penn Foster, the nation's largest accredited school of independent study, you could train for one of these careers at home in as little as 6 months. Graduate from one of our healthcare programs: medical office assistant, medical coding and billing, medical transcription, pharmacy technician, child daycare management, physical therapy aide, fitness and nutrition, veterinary assistant, dental assistant, certified personal trainer. You can even earn your high school diploma or earn your associate degree from Penn Foster College. Major in criminal justice, early childhood education, accounting, paralegal studies. Study at home, online, in print, or a combination of both. All the materials are delivered directly to you and included in your tuition. You could be working toward a new career in minutes. The call is free and there's no obligation. Start working towards your new career in minutes. Visit pennfoster.edu and get started today.
Swiffer Sweeper Vac's electrostatic dry cloths attract so much fine dirt on hard floors, you may never go back to your old vacuum.
Hey, vacuum! Want to attract more fine dirt? Then try the static balloon. Now who's attractive?
Sorry, vacuum. Swiffer Sweeper Vac has both the powerful vacuum and electrostatic dry cloths to trap and lock fine dirt, dust, and hair better than a leading upright vacuum, or your money back.
Blinded me with science!
With Orbitz, I know what to expect from my vacation. Bad dog balloon pop. Because Orbitz has price assurance, man with computer. If another Orbitz customer books the same hotel or flight for less, I'll get a check for the difference automatically.
When you Orbitz, you know.
In 1973, Jane Fonda and Tom Hayden married in their house in the Hollywood Hills. This time, Henry Fonda braved hippie guests and clouds of pot smoke to attend. 7 months later, Jane gave birth to a son, Troy. When the 35-year-old first learned she was pregnant, she finally set out to conquer an old demon, her bulimia.
She decided she wanted to live. She knew how dangerous it was. She knew that it probably had been damaging, perhaps, to her system already. And so she went cold turkey.
As Jane dedicated herself to her family, the war in Vietnam reached a painful close. But Fonda didn't ease up on her outspoken criticism of the U.S. government. Her acting career had come to a virtual stop. And when Jane returned to movie screens in 1976, she wasn't sure she still had an audience. But the hit satire, Fun with Dick and Jane, about a couple who steal to keep up their standard of living, proved that audiences still embraced Jane Fonda as an actress.
Regardless of her politics, people love to watch her act, and she brought such great work to the screen.
The hit film boosted Jane's confidence, and she recommitted herself to acting. The result was a series of films that reflected both Jane's political passion and the sharp Hollywood instincts that had been developing in her since childhood. Jane earned another Oscar nomination playing 1930s writer and activist Lillian Hellman in Julia, the story of Hellman's friendship with a Nazi resistance fighter, played by Vanessa Redgrave.
Please to step outside.
I will not please to step anywhere until I talk to Julia's grandparents.
They are on a cruise, madam. They will not be returning for 8 weeks. I will take the information, madam.
Julia has been murdered. It's not to be referred to as information. I have her ashes, and I want them to tell me what I'm supposed to do with them.
If you don't leave, madam, I shall...
She has a child. Don't they care about their granddaughter's child?
If you don't leave, madam, I shall have to call the police.
Hello!
Now 40, Jane Fonda was determined to combine storytelling with social content. In 1978, she began producing feature films through her own company. Jane's first project, Coming Home, dealt with the aftermath of the Vietnam War.
She wanted to talk about the veterans and the way they were treated. Jane moves from one thing to another. She confronts things. When she realizes that something is off or something, she needs some more information, she creates a project that gets her to that next stuff. I'm crazy about that.
Jane starred as a military wife who has an affair with a paraplegic veteran, played by Jon Voight.
It's very scary for me to think that maybe it's not going to work out with him.
I know.
Because we've been together for so long. It's going to be very hard for him. He's not going to like the fact that I've changed. I have changed.
Coming Home came from my experiences working with Vietnam veterans. It was something that I really wanted to express, so it came up from the inside of me. A lot of it was improvised. It was the kind of work that my dad didn't know how to do. And it was the first time that he mentioned specific scenes to me and said, you know, how did you do that?
Coming Home earned Jane her second Oscar for Best Actress. She followed it with another politically charged hit, The China Syndrome, a cautionary thriller about a disastrous near meltdown at a nuclear power plant.
You're a sexist, egotistical, lying, hypocritical bigot.
So I have a few faults. Who doesn't? Is that any reason to kill me?
Working 9 to 5.
Jane's next issue-driven film, 9 to 5, mixed the plight of working women with sharp comedy.
You're foul, Hart. A wart on the nose of humanity, and I'm going to blast it off.
The result was her biggest hit to date.
Goodbye, boss man. It's quitting time.
She says, well, I'm not really funny. She has this thing about her sense of humor, but when you can make Jane laugh, it's the most delightful thing. It's like the sunshine breaks through.
Wow. This is really good pot.
She's the first person I ever knew that truly did take leaps of faith. When we were doing 9 to 5, I'd work out with her, you know, and I'm athletic and I'm very physical, but nothing like Jane. I mean, Jane will work out for 90 minutes nonstop. And that same desire to do well, to really make a difference, whether it was in her own physical self or in something much, much larger, like the planet, you know. It's very endearing and enduring about her.
Fonda's reign at the top of the box office didn't keep her from other causes. She helped get her politically ambitious husband elected to the California Assembly. Jane and Tom also started a children's summer camp in Santa Barbara.
They taught children art and about the environment, and Vanessa, her daughter, and Troy, her son, went to this camp. Jane was very involved in it, and that's how she met Lulu, Marianne Williams, a very unhappy and lost little girl, and Jane noticed this and took her under her wing and eventually decided to adopt her, and she did.
My mother froze everything. I was 18 years old before I had my first fresh bun. The invention that I came up with is the Hot Dog Easy Bun Steamer. Steam is the key to a great hot dog. I knew it was going to be a success. The invention was so simple that I knew I needed to protect it. My name is Chris Chute, and I got my patent, trademark, and LLC on LegalZoom.
We created LegalZoom to help people start their business and launch their dreams. Go to LegalZoom today and make your business dream a reality. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side. Droid.
What this droid does will change how you do web connections. This creates a mobile 3G hotspot powerful enough to fuel multiple devices at will, putting you at the center of your own World Wide Web. Introducing the new Droid X, the next generation of does.
Now, a studio secret from L'Oreal. It's Magic Perfecting Base. Used under makeup, primer instantly smooths and resurfaces skin. It visibly fades lines and minimizes pores. It's instant perfection. Magic Perfecting Base by L'Oreal.
A true story from Farmers Insurance. I was blown away because she told me about these lower rates.
The Farmer's Way is about bringing value to the clients that we serve.
And after the sale, Monique has treated me like a #1 customer.
He knows that he can call me anytime.
Farmers Insurance is a great company. They care about you. They help you save money.
Are you this ready? Get to know a farmer's agent today. Find yours at farmers.com, because ready feels good.
Every year, millions of Americans face disaster. That's why we created the Tide Loads of Hope program, a free laundry service that provides clean clothes to families affected by disasters.
It feels so good to be able to know that I've got clean clothes.
You don't know how very basic essentials are till you have none.
This is what gives us hope.
You too can join us by purchasing a Tide Vintage Tea at TideLoadsOfHope.com.
What's your flavor?
I'm sophisticated with a spicy side.
Bring delicious personality to your meals in just 30 minutes.
I'm sweet and full of surprises.
What's your flavor? Find out with Lowry's.
Dear Bowflex, I dropped 8 dress sizes, 36 pounds, and all I had to do was walk.
This is the Bowflex Tread Climber Machine, the easiest way to walk and burn up to twice the calories in less time. By combining the motion of a treadmill, a stepper, and an elliptical, you get the calorie-burning benefits of all 3 workouts at once.
I lost 30 pounds in 4 months. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Call now for your free DVD and information kit. You'll see how the Tread Climber burns up to twice the calories of a treadmill. Plus, you'll learn how you can own a tread climber for no money down and payments as low as $20 a month.
Within the first couple of weeks, I started to lose inches. I lost 50 pounds in 3 months using the tread climber.
I lost 150 pounds in such a short period of time. All my friends are like, how did you do it?
To look better and feel younger, call or go online to buytc.com for your free DVD and information kit today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Bowflex.
Sincerely, J.D. Weber.
My ghost story started when we checked into the Holbrook Hotel.
It was 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and we heard a rattling on our door. There's an opening underneath the door, and I looked over there, and there wasn't any shadow or footprints. I had my little snapshot camera, and when I took the picture, I didn't see him. It was only after we had it developed that he's there.
All new My Ghost Story, Saturday at 10, only on Bio. Get up close and personal with the world's most fascinating people. Go to bio.com/shop for exclusive DVDs, books, and more. Real life, unfiltered.
In 1980, Jane Fonda launched the most personal crusade of her life. She'd always dreamed of making a film with her father, but 75-year-old Henry Fonda's health was failing, and she was running out of time. The 42-year-old actress bought the rights to the play On Golden Pond and cast Henry, herself, and Katharine Hepburn in the story of a man coming to terms with his mortality and mending fences with his estranged daughter.
Having fun?
Yeah.
That's good.
How come it's so easy?
What do you mean, darling?
Why wasn't that old son of a bitch ever my friend?
You're sounding very childish. Of course he was your friend. He's your father.
On screen, Henry and Jane acted out a reconciliation that she'd longed for in real life after years of conflicted feelings about her distant father.
I think that maybe you and I should have the kind of relationship that we're supposed to have.
What kind of relationship is that?
Well, you know, like a father and a daughter.
Yeah, just in the nick of time, huh?
It seems that you and me have been mad at each other for so long.
I didn't know we were mad. I thought we just didn't like each other.
I waited until his close-up to do something that I almost never did in life. In my emotional entreaties of him, I reached out and touched him. And when I touched him, I saw this emotion come up in his face and tears well up in his eyes.
This mean you come around more often? Mean a lot to your mother?
I mean, to be touched by his daughter was an unusual thing for him.
Jane's labor of love resulted in one of the top-grossing films of 1981. It also brought Henry Fonda his first Oscar. Jane proudly accepted the award on his behalf, and with her children, she took the statue to her ailing father's bedside. 1 year later, Henry died in his sleep on August 11th, 1982.
What's important is that I got to tell him that I loved him and that everything was okay and that I forgave him and, all those kind of things. It's terrible when a parent dies before you can say those things. My dad did the best he could, and he was a great human being, and I'm really grateful to him.
Jane was now 44. Professionally, she was at the peak of her career, and physically, she'd never been in better shape. Jane had been practicing aerobics since 1978. The next year, she opened a workout studio that grew into a chain, then a best-selling book.
In the beginning, it was very grassroots. People just couldn't get enough of it, and it was at a time when there wasn't a lot of this around.
In 1982, the actress released a video, Jane Fonda's Workout. VCRs were new, and a high-end exercise tape had never been done. Jane worried it might be an embarrassing failure. Instead, millions of women eager to have Fonda's incredible body snapped up the tape, and Jane became the head of a workout empire.
Suddenly, it exploded into a worldwide business of fitness.
that just had an effect on people, that they wanted to do it and they wanted to be part of it.
Her business was teaching women how to be healthy. She was right in there and not taking any excuses from you, and you could just hear it in her voice. This is it! It was just right there, do this. And she made it fun and easy, and we got up and do it.
But Jane's latest image couldn't erase some Americans' bitterness about her radical past. While filming the drama Stanley and Iris with Robert De Niro in Connecticut, a local veterans group picketed the set.
I believe the citizens of Waterbury are not Fonda.
There was an outcry, and she went up and faced them. She's always very brave, you know. She faces her critics, and she interacts with people.
50-year-old Jane didn't flinch from admitting her own mistakes. She met with the veterans, and she agreed to a TV interview with Barbara Walters, hoping to heal old wounds.
I was trying to help end the killing, end the war. But there were times when I was thoughtless and careless about it, and I am very sorry that I hurt them.
By the end of the 1980s, Jane Fonda's extraordinary success in business was taking a toll on her personal life. Work took her away from her daughter Vanessa and her son Troy, and her achievements eclipsed Tom Hayden's lackluster political career.
She was so successful and so busy, there was no way that he could possibly compete with that. And I think it was very difficult on the marriage.
In 1989, 52-year-old Jane was stunned to learn that Tom Hayden was having an affair with a younger woman. After 16 years of marriage, the couple divorced. Jane's acting career was also stalling. In the fall of 1989, after 8 years in development, her period drama Old Gringo sank at the box office. But Jane got a much-needed ego boost when brash Southern media mogul Ted Turner called and asked her for a date.
They both had really tough upbringings. They both had parents that committed suicide. They both were overachievers and very driven. So they were just like on the same track, and they had a lot to talk about.
They were a real matched pair. I mean, she had as much strength and energy and ferocity as him. And that's saying quite a bit.
Jane and Ted became one of the world's most talked about power couples. And in 1991, on Jane's 54th birthday, they married. As a new generation of Fondas made their mark on movie screens, first Jane's niece Bridget, then her own son, Troy Garrity, Jane stepped away from acting and moved to Atlanta. There, she championed social causes. In 1995, she founded GCAP, the Georgia Campaign for Adolescent Pregnancy Prevention.
The causes that lead to teen pregnancy are adult-driven, and it is adults who are going to have to solve the problem.
She's direct and very sincere about her charities, never speaks lightly about them. She makes an excellent spokesperson for what's going on in the world.
Jane also took time out for herself, going to sports events with Ted and relaxing on his ranch in Montana. Jane's questioning nature also led her to explore her spirituality.
She started going to Bible class at a church in Atlanta, and the minister talked about it on television, which upset her very much because for her it was a private thing. She calls herself a Christian. She believes in God, but I don't think she likes to talk about it.
But Jane Fonda's evolution was far from over. In 1999, after 8 years of following in her strong-willed husband's footsteps, she filed for divorce from Ted Turner.
Jane became more involved with her philanthropy and was spending less time with Dad. Ted doesn't like to be alone, and he wanted Jane to be with him at all times, and she was unwilling to be there for all times.
I'd rather be alone with myself whole than with a wonderful, wonderful man that I love madly, for whom I'm going to have to be half.
In recent years, Jane Fonda has kept a low profile, but she did return to the big screen in 2005 after a 15-year hiatus to co-star with Jennifer Lopez in the dark comedy Monster-in-Law. Once again, Jane's comedic talents connected with younger audiences as she garnered a slew of Teen Choice Movie Award nominations. But movie audiences were not the only ones to notice Jane in 2005. She received a Career Achievement Award from the National Board of Review, released her autobiographical book, My Life So Far, and re-released her workout videos on DVD. All in all, Jane has a lot going on for someone keeping a low profile.